Okay, we are live. We'll wait a few minutes because I know there is a 30-second delay. So let's make sure that we are working. A few minutes. Oh, you get two of me.
Yes. You have 32 people watching you already.
Perfect. Yours is way faster than mine. What'd you say? No, I don't want to know what you said.
Anytime her Apple stuff breaks, I'm like,
she's anti-Apple, people. I won't tell you who it is so you don't send her negative messages. Okay. So we are going to have to be kind of timely tonight. I think I've got a good amount of content for tonight to where we'll still have plenty of time to announce our winners. Super excited. I will tell you guys I've had lots of ahas over this Pacesetters from previous Pacesetters, so I'm excited to share that with you at the end. And you know, I always say this, and it never is incorrect, that people totally throw in the towel. You know, in week 3 and 4, it's so crazy to me, the entries that the number has gone down so much dramatically with the weeks. And it's so sad to me. It's like, why would you start something and then not finish? But it's just, I guess, statistics, right? So anyways, I hope you guys have enjoyed it. I'm excited for just what we've got power packed tonight, and then also to announce the winners. And I'm excited for just how I'm choosing to do things differently next time when we launch our next one in February, and just some things that I've just wanted to tweak a little bit. So I'm excited about that. So congratulations for those of you who made it to week 4, because at this point it's slim pickings. Even here at our studio, the weather is really bad. It took me way too long to get here. So I know we've got some people showing up, but you know, our room starts out half full or full and then ends up very, very sparse because people just quit on themselves. And it's so sad that we're in a society and in a place where, you know, when people feel discouraged or whatever, they just choose not to show up. So that makes my heart a little sad. But you just keep on going. For those of you who are still here, you will be the ones who will become a national sales director, because I never quit Pacesetters in the middle of Pacesetters. I always played full out, even when I wasn't winning. So anyways, congratulations to you guys. So I know one of the things that I've realized is not giving you guys a notebook at the beginning is way more work on my part throughout. And then also when it comes to this week, I was like, well, if I give them something to print, odds are most of them will not have time to print that. So tonight we're just going to do a notebook, but we will be having a book next time because this is just way too much work for me. So with that being said, we're going to jump into week number 3, but on your guys's sheet, your weekly sheet, that was actually supposed to be week 2, but we swapped them. So tonight we're going over week 2's content. And what I would just do is, you guys have a notebook. I'm going to share this link in our Pacesetters group, so you guys can go back and take notes and rewatch and stuff if you miss anything tonight. I'll post it probably Friday, so you guys can go back and watch. But because I don't have pages for you guys to fill out. But to be honest, every time you attend an event or something with Mary Kay, they don't give you like pre-filled in forms, so you guys will be okay. And writing it down on paper, all that good stuff. So anyways, one of the biggest things and ahas I've had from this training, you guys, has really been head stuff. And I don't know if you guys have been, obviously you guys are listening to the Rachel Hollis podcast, and the directors were assigned the Ed Milet. Have you guys been listening to Ed Milet? Seriously, such a game changer. He's like such a big thinker. I love the way he thinks. And a lot of the guests that he has on are all about your head stuff and about, just your mind and your thought process and all that stuff. And what blows my mind is the statistics are the same for every single person who knows anything about this. Is this business is 90% what your thoughts are and what you tell yourself and your beliefs. And so, I'm looking at our broad spectrum of consultants in our area and even in the Mary Kay world. And it's mind blowing how many women struggle with success when they probably fit the mold of what should be successful, versus someone who like skies to the top because their belief is so high. And you would think, really? You? Like, you soar to the top, like, wow, that's amazing, when you might put someone else in that category to be able to do that. And it's all about your belief. It's all about your expectations. And so that's been really eye-opening to me. And so I'm excited about this week because I feel like this is some really powerful content. So the first thing I'm going to talk to you guys a little bit about is limiting beliefs. Limiting beliefs are oftentimes something people don't even maybe realize they have. Sometimes it is something they're very aware of that they struggle with. And gosh, there's so many different, beliefs that some people have. I'll throw a couple out there. Is maybe if you've never had anyone who's successful as an entrepreneur in your family, what are the odds that I would be able to be successful? Or no one's ever been successful in an endeavor, in our family. So, odds are I won't be able to either. Or I've tried sales positions before and I didn't succeed at them. So what makes me think I can do this now? Or maybe you've even become a sales director and you hit a spot in your business where you had to take a step back, whether it's health or whatever. And maybe your limiting belief is, can you get back? What makes me think I can do that again? Or what makes me think I could be successful the second go around? I mean, there's so many different limiting beliefs. I remember, I love my stepdad to death. He's an amazing man. But I remember when him and my mom were not on board with Mary Kay and I earned my pink Cadillac. And he said, well, isn't it just as easy to lose one as it is to earn one? And that was something that I think I replayed in my head over and over and over. And I think it really caused me a little bit of paralysis because I let it process in my brain and take root. And so, when I earned my second pink Cadillac, I was like, oh, well, what if I, maybe this will be the one that I lose, and limiting beliefs that go through your head that you don't even realize. For example, maybe someone called you stupid when you were little, and so you'll always carry that with you. Or maybe someone called you ugly, and so you carry that everywhere you go. And so there are things that you will take with you, and they're built upon memory. So beliefs are conditioned or perceptions that are built upon old memories of pain and pleasure. These memories are based on how we've interpreted and emotionalized your experience over time. What's crazy too is that most of the time, the person who called you stupid or ugly or said, I bet you my stepdad does not recall saying that to me. Like, I bet you whoever called you stupid does not remember saying that to you. And that's normally the case because people just say things and don't even realize what the repercussions of that statement might be, but yet they take it and they carry it with them over and over and over. And by attaching ourselves emotionally to people, events, maybe circumstances, maybe someone made you feel unspecial at a Mary Kay event, and so therefore you've contributed all these Mary Kay people in the same bubble that no, I don't like Mary Kay because that one person said one thing that really hurt my feelings, and Mary Kay's all, whatever. And or circumstances, we effectively build the foundations of our belief system on all of those things. So again, experiences, emotional attachments to people, circumstances, all the things. And these belief systems, therefore, are nothing more than a psychological rule of commands to the nervous systems that then shape your thoughts, your filters, and experiences of your reality. So the great thing is that we can change our limiting beliefs. It's something that you get to reprogram. And I will tell you guys that every successful entrepreneur that you've ever met has limiting beliefs. We've all dealt with them. Sometimes we do it to ourselves. Sometimes it's not something someone else has planted. Sometimes we are like our worst enemy when it comes to that kind of stuff. And basically, that's what's shaping your thoughts. That's what's shaping the filters of your reality. And so it's up to us to change that. The great thing is, again, you guys have heard me talk about this, is the brain it's very smart, but it's also very dumb. In reality is that we get to reprogram our brain entirely, but it takes progress. It takes work. It's not something you can do overnight. It does take work on that. And so what I want you guys to write down is step one is your desired outcome. So step one is your desired outcome. What do you want in your business? If we're talking about limiting beliefs, breaking belief barriers, what exactly do we want to come out of our business? Do you want directorship this year? Do you want a free car? Do you want a consistent reorder business? What is it exactly that you want? Maybe you want a little bit more freedom at home. I'm not really sure, but whatever your desired outcome might be. And then number two is question your limiting belief. I'm sorry. Okay, so choose your outcome is number one. Number two, write down your limiting belief. So what is your limiting belief? Maybe it's you can't be successful at this, or you're not good at sales, or you don't know, I don't know, whatever your limiting belief might be. Write down your limiting belief. Number three is we have to ask yourself, do your limiting beliefs have truth? So number 3 is question your limiting beliefs. Do they have truth? Which means, and these might sound really silly, you guys, but it's really true. Does your limiting belief have truth? Could it stand in the court of law? You know, when we say to ourselves, oh, I don't know how to sell anything, or I've never been good at sales. Could you stand in the court of law? Like, is that true? Or is that, again, just something you're absolutely telling yourself and trying to kind of like sabotage yourself? And then, or can you prove it to be true? You know, is it true that everyone in your family has turned out to be a failure? Is it, you know, and like whatever limiting beliefs that you have, are they true? Is it something that does have solidification, like 100% absolutely true? Most of the time, absolutely not. Okay, step 4 is consider the consequences of your limiting belief. So if you are listening to these limiting beliefs, and maybe it's that you can't make it past the point that you've made it in your business, or I don't know, you guys, I know we all have some. Does anybody have one here they want to shout out? What's a limiting belief?
That people I get close to will leave me.
Oh, okay. So people I get close to will leave me. That's great. So consider the consequences of that limiting belief. So number 2, actually, let's go back through these steps. So number 1, choose your desired outcome. We're going to say she wants to be a national sales director. Number 2, question your limiting belief. Do they have truth? Okay, her limiting belief is that people she gets close to will leave her. And so question that. Is that true? Has every single person that she's gotten close to left her? I can say for a fact, no, that has not happened at all. And so consider the consequences of these limiting beliefs. And because I know this amazing woman sitting in front of me, I will tell you the consequences of those limiting beliefs have been that she hasn't opened herself up to connect with people. And so it has caused her to have a little bit of a walls up and or not get the results that she wants. Now, that hasn't been the case because she has had 3 new personal qualified team members this month. So she has eliminated that limiting belief. So congratulations on that one. And so do you see how this, though we had to have conversations, we had to become aware of what that limiting belief was. So she became aware of it. And we, you know, and like, is that true? Would that stand in the court of law? Do you lose every single person that you become close to? No. And so it's a limiting belief. The consequences were she wasn't accelerating where she wanted in her business as the time that she wanted, but now she's been able to move past that. So what suffers because of your limiting belief? Great example is she wasn't growing as fastly as she wanted. Maybe she was missing out on great relationships. Maybe she was missing out on really awesome women, you know, or people that God was putting in her life, but she was nervous to lose people, so she wasn't connecting. So those could be some of the consequences. So whatever limiting belief you guys are dealing with, what are those consequences? What is missing the boat on that one? So let's say you were fearful you couldn't be successful, therefore you weren't putting the time and the energy, or you were just scared you weren't going to be successful in your business. Well, your limiting belief is that I can't be successful in Mary Kay. Is that true? Absolutely not. You know, could that stand in the court of law? No. I mean, if you're unwilling to do any work, I guess it could stand in the court of law. But the consequences of that are, you know, your family, your finances, your dreams, your vision for where you want to go in your life. I mean, list the consequences. And then step 5 is to choose a new empowering belief. And so what do you choose to believe? So my friend sitting in the front row, what do you choose to believe is now your thought. So then when that limiting belief comes up, you shut it down. What's your new empowering thought?
My new empowering thought is that God is connecting me with people on purpose.
Perfect. I love that. So clearly she's super intentional about making sure that it's not a negative connotation at all. It's God is connecting her with new women. Like she's making it something that she feels is spiritual and important, but also that he's exposing her to new. So she's not focusing on the past. She's focusing on what God's bringing her and putting into her space. And you guys, it might sound kind of rinky-dinky corny to you, but it is so important that you have a toolbox of tools ready to go and you feel equipped when those negative thoughts do cross your mind, because it will absolutely happen. And so I love that. So we could call that Nicole. Well, now you know it's Nicole. We could call that, I know she doesn't care. We could call that her power statement. And so what is your power statement? So, you know, if you're wanting to become a sales director, your power statement might be We are growing. I am growing my personal unit, my personal business, and we are accelerating to sales director. You know, we are building our dream team. We are building our dream unit, you know, every single day with every healthy habit. You know, I mean, whatever your power statement might be, and you guys, you can do that in life. Like I've been running a ton when I don't want to. And I fell yesterday and I bruised like my leg and my arm and all this stuff. And I'm like, I still got to do it. And so my power statement is something as simple as I am strong. I can do this. When I didn't feel like running yesterday, when I didn't feel like running 10 miles on Sunday, like I can do this. I am strong. So you've got to have some type of power statement that gets you through the moment when you don't feel like doing it. Because normally if you push yourself to keep going, it'll go away. And so you just have to keep pushing. And so what's your power statement? And then recommendation is to repeat it multiple times a day. If the only thing you're listening to is your negative thoughts, it's going to win every single time. And so repeating your power statement every single day, multiple times a day, and it will cause you to be more relaxed. It will cause you to be more in tune with your thoughts and allow yourself to negate the negative. Okay, so the big thing though is you guys, you do have to believe it. So if you're like, I'm going to be a national sales director next month. Well, obviously that's probably not true for most people. And so you do have to believe it. You have to believe what you're telling yourself. So if your power statement is a crazy pie in the sky thing that's not really going to happen, you know, I'm going to win the lotto, is probably not going to come into fruition. So it needs to be something you absolutely believe. Because the problem is, as we try to reprogram our subconscious mind, the difference is that when you're saying those positive things to yourself, and then in your head you're playing the negatives, you're literally negating everything that you're doing. So it's truly it's not transforming like it should be, because you're going back and forth. It's like a crazy brain. So transform your habits. Your behavior, your attitude, your reactions, these are all things externally that you can do, but also internally, it's reprogramming your subconscious. And again, it starts with the conscious mind, you guys. And then really when you start to do that internally, your subconscious will take over. So you have to say it out loud. Your subconscious will then take over and reprogram that. So it's so important to break those limiting beliefs, you guys. One thing I've actually done is I have a couple different backgrounds on my phone that flip. And right now I actually have 4 statements as my background. And they're just empowering statements that I read every time before I'm allowed to like unlock my phone. So it's my background. I read all 4 and then I can unlock my phone. So I don't use my fingerprint to open. I just push my button and it pops up. And I can read those real quick. And then I can unlock my phone. So I try to do that every time, just to reprogram something as simple as that, of having empowering statements on your phone and saying, I can't unlock it till I read these. Takes me probably all of 15 seconds. And again, it's reprogramming your mind to healthy thoughts and healthy beliefs. So there is that. A couple other things, and a lot of this is very similar information, but again, having affirmations in your house, having power statements in your house, maybe on the fridge, maybe on the door you walk in and out of every single day. Maybe I like to have a couple of my favorite Bible verses all over the house. One of my favorites is, if God is for me, who can be against me? And that's always something that's, you know, whenever you get something negative or whatever pops in your head or anything stressful, you're able to just kind of like combat it with that. One thing that I've heard and that I've really been intentional about is not picking up my cell phone for the first 30 minutes for when I wake up. I think I talked a little bit about that already, but you guys, it really does control your brain. Actually, today was probably the only day I looked right at my phone because my sister had a baby last night, or this morning at like 2 in the morning. So I grabbed my phone just so I could see if she had the baby. But I really do try to be intentional about making sure I don't pick up my phone, because you guys, like everyone else, we all have alerts, we have news, we have social media, we have different things. And so when you put your energy and attention to that, it is literally going to suck the life out of you. So it's super important that you make cognizant effort not to pick up your phone. And most people, it's really smart to get a different alarm and plug your cell phone into a different room. I have a lot of girlfriends who do that. I have not yet done that. I need to, because it really is difficult. But what I do is I put my phone down, I put it on silent, so I don't even pick up my phone, unless it's my alarm. Actually, my husband is my alarm when he gets up and I make his breakfast every morning. So I don't even have to set an alarm. So And if making your husband breakfast every morning doesn't bring you joy, I don't want to receive any messages saying I'm a horrible person. I enjoy it. So if it doesn't bring you joy, don't do it. So steps to successful manifestation. So you guys, one thing you've already heard me talk a little bit about is what you speak is what you will receive. And again, think it's hokey all you want. But you guys heard the story about the guy who said, busy, 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 wish I was dead at the end of every single email. And then after so long, he was diagnosed with cancer, and it wasn't like a deathly cancer. It was not a cancer that he should have died right away. Guy was dead within a month. So his brain said, there you go, sir. Okay, so making sure you're very, very careful about what you speak and kind of manifestation in all areas of your life. You guys, this is what's so cool. It's all areas of your life, not just your Mary Kay. So the first step is to manifest with intention. So making a clear, conscious choice. So you're manifesting with intention, making a conscious choice of what you want. So that's the thing, you guys. If you don't know what you want, if you're wishy-washy all over the board about what you want in your business, maybe in your marriage, maybe in your finances, maybe your home life, then you've got to get clear on that. If you're not clear on what you want, it's not going to happen. So you have to imagine yourself achieving this goal. You have to imagine what you're going to be wearing, what it's going to feel like, who you're going to tell, what's it going to, how are you going to feel internally? If you can't see these things coming into fruition, there's no way you're going to be able to manifest that. So like, for example, I don't know that anyone could manifest winning the lottery. It's probably not going to happen. The odds are definitely against majority of the people, but something as successful as, earning a career car or becoming a pink Cadillac director or becoming a national sales director, you can close your eyes and feel what that's going to look like and taste like and how that's going to feel. If you can't picture what that's going to feel like, maybe you're not ready for it. So maybe you need to start a little bit slower, or a little bit lower. If you're a consultant and you're seeing yourself as a national, that might be too far-fetched. You might need to start out with sales director. You might need to start out with the Chevy Cruze if you are wanting a pink Cadillac, And so starting out with the manifestation of what that would look like, because if you don't know what it's going to feel like or any sense of that actually happening, you may need to kind of reevaluate what that looks like. Sometimes we do give up what we want, thinking that we can't believe that we deserve it. And so that's another thing, is working on deserve level, working on, making sure that that is something that you're cognizant of. If you're telling yourself you don't deserve it, why? Is that truthful? Does it stand in the court of law? Probably not. And so do you deserve it? Absolutely. Is it something that you're willing to work for? That's something you have to ask yourself, And so a lot of the limiting beliefs that we put ourselves through have absolutely no fact to them. It's just something we put ourselves through. And so you do have to ask yourself, though, is it something you're struggling with? A lot of people do struggle with, self-worth or, are you enough? That is probably the most common thing, is, are you enough? And so we don't stop wanting it. What we do is we deny ourselves the desire. And that, again, is based upon the fear of disappointment, based upon anything to do with that. So afraid that if we don't achieve what we want, we throw in the towel anyways, or we deny ourselves the opportunity to even try because we feel unworthy. So being aware of your thoughts and then, again, shutting them down, because if you don't believe that you're even capable of having these things, it's going to be really hard to manifest that. If you can't even see yourself getting there, what would be the point of seeing yourself there if you can't even see yourself there? Hopefully that makes sense. Okay, so you must absolutely, truly desire this with your entire body, your entire soul. It has to be deep to your core what you're wanting. It can't be something that you're like, oh, I made this cute goal poster, of me looking like, I don't know, Giselle or something like that. And you're not going to go to the gym. You're not committed to a healthy diet. And so odds are that's not going to happen. And so just being aware of things that they need to absolutely be something that you're committed to. They cannot be half-hearted. Your body and your soul will not resonate with any affirmations attached to that if it's not truth, if it's not authentic, if it's not real. Okay, so step 2, commit to having it. So this means that you have to be willing 100%, full-hearted, no ifs, buts, maybes, none of that. It has to be 100% wholehearted. So you cannot be half-hearted with this. You must be precise. And this step requires you to focus upon your true intentions. Step 2 is you have to be committed to it. committed to having it, and you have to be committed to the activity. You can't be half-hearted. You have to be precise and focus on what your true intentions are. And you have to be committed to the true desires. Again, you can't be half-hearted about this stuff. You have to be super intentional. Again, if we want to speak out, say, and receive, we have to be willing to be committed to the activity. So again, step 1 was, what's your intention? You have to know what you want. If you can't see it's coming together, if you can't see, it's a difference between coming together and believing it's something that you really solidly want. If it's something, again, a pie in the sky dream that's never going to happen, start somewhere else. And then step 2 is absolutely seeing yourself with an ability, to actually do it and doing the work to make it come together. Step 3 is affirming what we want, saying it out loud, writing it down, having goal posters, actual pictures of these things that you want in your physical realm. Like the sound of your voice, you guys will create the energy and the power to give that power. So you have to be careful. So affirmations, and you have to believe them. It has to be something that excites you. You have to be careful about your voice and the energy that comes from that. Your intention, your clarity of your visualization, will give you extra strength and excitement and things like that. So again, a vision board is another positive way to make that happen. And looking at your vision board every day, having a goal poster. If your goal poster's in your closet behind your winter coats and you're in Texas, it's probably never going to be seen, So making sure it's something that you'll actually see and it's in front of you constantly. Victoria, will you turn the heater down? I turned it up thinking it was like going to be freezing and now it's super hot. Thank you. Step 4. So again, number 1 is intention, knowing what that is that you want. Number 2 is the activity. Number 3 is the affirmation. So number 2, you have to be committed to it. Number 3 is affirmations, being able to say it out loud, speak it, looking at your posters. Step 4 is appreciation and grateful for what we already have. And this has been a huge learning thing, I think, for so many people, especially entrepreneurs. You guys, God is not going to bless us when we don't even show appreciation for what we have. And that's something I think that can be really hard when you're stuck in the rut. I think that can be really frustrating when you're like, God, I've been in the valley for a year now. Is this valley over yet? Like I'm ready for the mountain again, and I think, again, we don't ride the timeline about things and the way they're supposed to go. And it might be like you're doing all the work that you've thought and control possible. But reality is there's a lesson to be learned in this. And God cannot bless you if you are all over the map with commitment, if you're all over the map with your excitement, if you're all over the map with 1 minute you're ready to book and the next minute you need to, go throw a hammer somewhere. You have to be careful about what you are showing appreciation for. So that's one thing I've really been intentional, and that's why I put you guys the grateful journal, because I just think if anything, if you guys continue to do that, great. I pray if anything, it's caused you guys to be more aware of what we are grateful for. And, whether you're out for a run or driving or stuck in this horrible Dallas traffic or wherever you live, you're just taking the time to say thank you. Like, thank you, God. Thank you for air to breathe. Thank you for a house over my head. Thank you for toilet paper. Some people don't even have that, thank you for my business. Thank you for an opportunity to bring in money. It might not be doing what I want it to do right now, but again, let's go back a little bit. Some of that is your commitment, your activity. Do you see yourself there? Or are you half butting it? Are you really full in right now? Are you maxing out? But be generous in your thankfulness and act as though it's already part of your life. So that's another cool thing, is already taking ownership. God, thank you so much for the car that I know you've got in our future. Thank you so much for the national area that I know that you're already blessing us in building right now. Thank you so much for my dream units that I know you've got the women out there and it's up to me to find them, but thank you for them. How many of us take the time to actually thank God for something before we've even received it? Most of the time we are not, right? Most of the time we are not. For women who struggle with infertility, gosh, how would maybe it be different if we were just choosing to be, and I've never been there, so it's not even an area that I would even go on, but maybe praying and thanking God for your future baby that he has, for you, or your future spouse, if you're not married and you want a husband, or whatever, but just being grateful for the future and what God has for you. And so being generous in your thanks, and again, acting as though it's already a part of your life. Thank you for the home that you're going to give us. Thank you for blah, 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 blah. Fill in the blank, you guys. But again, just choosing to be grateful will 100% change your attitude in the outcome. And then step 5 is letting go. We've done our due diligence, right? We've said what we want. We've set our goals. We've set our dreams. Number 2, we have now committed. We know what we got to do. We're willing to do the work. Number 3, we're affirming ourselves. We are goal postered out. We are like all in. Number 4, we are being grateful for everything God's given us and even our future blessings. And number 5, we have to let it go. I think sometimes we harbor the results. Okay, God, I've done all the things that you told me to do for the past 5 weeks and it still hasn't happened. What's the deal? Right? Like, how many of us have these expectations and this like size and time frame that we expect God to just wave his magic wand and, okay, that was perfect timing, God. I asked for that before December and here it is November. You were really on time on that one. I think sometimes we have like an expectation of when that's going to happen. And again, if it were our worlds, then it would be that way, but it would be a dangerous and a scary world. And so praise God that we are not the ones controlling the outcome. He is. And so let it go so that you can work again out of gratefulness, out of joy, believing in yourself. But if you're attached to it's not happening, how can we possibly be grateful? We're not. We're focused on what we don't have instead of what we do have. And then step 6 is just enjoy the fact that you've done what you need to do and you are still doing the work. It's not a one and done, you guys. It's every single day due diligence of practice. Every single day you need to see yourself, believe that is your position, believe that is where God's sending you, believe that what you want is yours to have. You have to believe that. Number 2, you have to know what it's going to take and be willing to do it. It's not going to happen if you're unwilling to do it. Number 3, you have to affirm yourself. Number 4, you have to be grateful for what you have. 5, let it go. And 6, relax and know that if you continue to do these things every day, day in and day out, it will happen. The problem is most people give up. Most people can't hang on long enough, and so it is required every single day, you guys, consistent. And you have to be cognizant of your words. On Monday, if you're all on board and Tuesday, you're a hot mess, you have to be consistent in that. You have to be very cognizant of that. Every time you complain, every time you're negative, anytime you moan about your life to anyone else, you guys, you're putting it out there that will be your new reality. I was reading a book, and I'm going to her seminar in a few weeks, and she talks about how every time she was looking back over her life, and she was saying, like, her situation was really cruddy. She found out her husband was having an affair. They had just had twins. They had a little boy, and so she was a single mom, no college education. He left immediately. Had all these bills. They had already filed for bankruptcy. They were struggling financially. And she looked back over her life and she realized the conversation she was having with her mom, with her husband, with her girlfriends. She was manifesting like, oh my gosh, we can't catch up on the bills. This is awful. Never got caught up. Oh my gosh, I just feel like I can't catch a break. It's like the kids are just this one thing after another. You better believe that was continuously the issue. And she said, even from a childhood, she could go back and she could actually say that every time she was speaking out what was happening in her life, it never got better. It never got better. She was speaking truth to her reality. And so it kept going that way. And it wasn't reprogrammed to think like, hey, maybe we should change our thoughts here because this is an unhealthy pattern. And so every time you speak out, when a girlfriend says, how are things? Be cognizant of, okay, even though you may want to complain about your husband right now, is that a thought that needs to take root in your brain? Maybe you need to say like, you know what, girl, it's a learning process and we're getting better by the day, or, hey, you know what? I'm grateful he's here. I don't know, change, somehow turn it into a positive. But if you even take root of that negative thought of, girl, I swear I could just kill him. I don't even know what I'm doing with my life right now. I just would be easier to be single. Like when you make statements like that, do you think that's enriching your marriage? Do you think that's, helping, or you're going to get home and just really want to give that man a hug? Probably not. And so it's probably better that you don't make those types of statements. When someone asks, how's your business going? It's going great. I'm learning every single day. I'm becoming a better business owner every single day. Instead of saying, well, my last 5 parties canceled, blah, 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 blah. Fill in the blank. You guys, and that goes along with my 19 $0 parties. After 2 or 3, I'd convinced myself they're all going to be $0. And guess what? It happened. I am like living proof. It happened. All 19 $0 parties, because I had convinced myself that was normal. And then also making booking calls when I didn't want to make booking calls. And I said, gosh, I really don't even want to do this. Well, I made the booking calls. They booked and they all canceled. Well, I didn't really want to do it. And that's what I said. And so just being so super careful when it has to do with your kids, how are the kids doing? Gosh, Ian's a ham right now. I can't handle Cameron. He's all over the map. My daughter's an emotional mess. I mean, like, did you want that to keep happening? Because when we speak it, right, it's going to keep happening until you start to reprogram your brain that like things are great. Things are so great. I'm so grateful I have kids. I'm so grateful I have a spouse. I'm so grateful I have chaos, And you guys, I promise it will make the world of a difference. But as I was reading this book and she's talking about, I have literally manifested everything in my life. All the bad, like I'm never going to catch a break. We're never going to own a home. We're never, I feel like we're never going to be able to get anywhere. I just don't think this is going to take off, or, I'm not going to be able to be successful, or, whatever. Everything that she said has been her life. And so until you reprogram that, it's not going to change. Okay. So some crazy stuff, guys. Okay. So the next thing I'm going to talk to you guys a little bit is about power of positive visualization. So this is something I've talked a little bit about before. It's been a minute since I have talked about it, but I want you guys to think of what your goal might be, your ultimate goal. So for me, one of my ultimate goals is I have 2 different that when I became a national sales director, and one of them has come true. So I have to shift it. So let me tell you guys a little bit. So when I was really working on becoming a national sales director, and I didn't actually do this, I didn't enlist this until I was probably a year out from becoming a national. And this probably played a pretty good part in this, was I went to coaching school. And you don't need to go to coaching school for this. I'll give it to you right now. But they made you pick a symbol that was attached to your goals. And so I knew I wanted to be a national sales director for 2 reasons. I couldn't pick one. I had to do it for 2. The first reason was I knew that when I got to heaven, I wanted all of my sales directors in heaven with me. I wanted to know that between me and the amazing women in my organization, that people became to know Christ. That was like, you want something gut-wrenching, you got to think of something gut-wrenching, like something that really just hits you to the core. And that was something that I literally could just cause me to tear up and cry. And so what would that symbol be? That symbol for me, if I'm like in the middle of a party and it's a really cruddy party or whatever, I could close my eyes and I could see the symbol, or maybe even hear it. And for me, it got so good that I could hear it. So my symbol was harps. So like harps playing in heaven, and I could hear the music playing. And so if I had a cancellation, I would close my eyes and I would just literally just see a harp, and I would see harps and angels playing harps. And that way I could snap myself out of that situation ASAP, because it was no longer about me. And so, but that's what worked for me. I will tell you the one that I had to change because it's come into fruition was, I was single. I had just gotten a divorce. Life was a little messy. And so I needed some clarity on what exactly I wanted. And so the other symbol was a home, and babies playing in the home, and a puppy, and a husband coming home from work. So, and so I got married, and we have a beautiful home, and we've got the puppy. And so that's come into fruition. But when I was in the middle, before any of that actually happened, and I was in a party, or, maybe someone canceled on me, or a team member quit on me, or, who knows, sky's the limit, right? Or I just wasn't feeling well, or didn't have the energy, I would close my eyes and I would literally just see this home, and like I could see smoke coming out of. Nobody in Texas has like a real chimney, but I don't know why that was part of my visual. And babies, and I could hear babies giggling, and puppies, bear barking and a husband coming home and just a healthy relationship in this house. So I could see that. I could close my eyes and I could see that. And that kept me going. So I've had to change that a little bit because that did come into fruition. And sometimes you will have to change your visualization. You will have to change what that symbol might look like. And so now I want, for my area, it's the same, as far as my harps. But even just seeing a major increase in income for my sales directors and seeing increase in car drivers and seeing increase in success. So just seeing numbers. And so sometimes I can just close my brain and just increase, like almost trying to think, what are those things that the numbers just keep climbing. So that's my symbol for that. And then one personal one is buying my mom a home. I'm having an in-law quarters or a home for my mom. And so those are 3 things that I can close my eyes when I don't feel like doing something, and I can see one of those images, if not all 3 of them, and I force myself to get up and keep going. And so what is a visualization for you guys? What would that symbol be? So begin by establishing a highly specific goal. It has to be specific. You can't be like, I want to save, human hunger. It has to be something that you can actually see come into fruition. So a highly specific goal. Okay, so that's number 1. Number 2 is you have to imagine the future as it, again, you guys, common thread here, common thread. Imagine the future as though you have already achieved it. Okay? So hold a mental picture in your head as if it were occurring right at this very moment. Imagine the scene in as much detail as possible, which is why, you guys, I was literally hearing the dogs running around the house. I was hearing babies crawling, daddy's home. I was hearing the door open. I was baking cookies. I mean, I got so in depth with this thought. You want to engage as many senses as possible with your visualization. So who are you with? Okay. So when it came to my directors, I could literally see all of my directors in heaven. I could tell you all their names right now. I could see them in heaven. I could see their families in heaven. I could see their consultants in heaven. That was huge for me. What is the smell? So what is the smell? Where are you? Maybe you're celebrating your new position at a fancy steakhouse and you can smell the, the meat or something. Like what are you smelling? Maybe the new leather of a new car. What does that smell like? What are you wearing? What are you wearing? What do you hear? What's the environment? You guys, and it's really important. This sounds really silly that you are like sitting with your spine up, straight up. You can't be like hunched back over having these visions. You have to feel powerful, and you're not going to feel powerful when you're like maybe laying in bed or, hunched over or whatever. You want to, own, like see that, feel the power. I mean, I don't know about you guys, but I just sitting up, I can tell a difference in how I feel. Like you do feel, right? Like you're like, okay, I got, you feel better when you carry your shoulders a little bit differently. Okay, so you can practice this at night. You guys practice it in the morning. And again, this is really working closely with what we just talked about is the brain stuff, the negative stuff, to affirm yourself, to know this is what you want, right? We're manifesting, we're talking about this. And this is just part of that positive visualization. You guys, I promise you that these people that we're listening to podcasts that are worth billions of dollars, they're not blowing smoke up our rears. There is truth to this. This has a lot of validation. All these successful book writers and business owners, they're not successful from podcasts. They're successful because they own multi-million-dollar real estate firms, companies, invested in multiple opportunities, and they're successful because of that. So I promise you, this isn't just a bunch of stuff that I pulled up on Google. This is legit stuff that has a lot of concrete, just truth and validation to it. So repeat this, you guys. Practice it constantly throughout the day. Combine that with meditation and just silencing yourself and quiet time, grateful time, all of the above. And again, your power statements. I am strong. I can do this. God is, introducing me to amazing women, every single day or whatever. Just being able to see that, because if you want this, you have got to be able to see it coming into fruition. If you are telling yourself something that's never going to happen, then your mind is not going to believe it. And it's going to be, all over the map. So a couple examples of some visualization for you guys. Goal posters again. I'm really excited. I'm going to a seminar and it's very, very big on, visualization. So I'm excited about this, and I'll share that with you guys next time, what I learn. But goal posters are huge. Affirmations with alarms. That's another thing you can do, is put some affirmations on your phone, set a couple alarms throughout the day, and require yourself to affirm yourself. You know, so many times throughout the day, we do not make the time to affirm ourselves. And that's the crazy thing, is that we're all given the same 24 hours. The difference is what you do with it. You know, some of these people own millions of companies, you guys, and families and everything else, but they managed to get it done. And so how are we, you know, being smart with our time? So setting alarms on your phone. Again, having a background on your phone. You could have, you know, I know you, for the iPhone, you have a screen lock one, and then you also have when your normal background. So you could do both. You could have one that has words and sentences to affirm yourself, and one that has pictures that you could use as visualization. Miracle Morning is really the best, what I have found to be the most productive way to get in the things that you need to get in to make that happen first thing early morning. And I talked a little bit about this, you guys, especially with some of the podcasts that I've listened to, is the dream dates. That's another great exercise. See yourself there, smell yourself there. I love that he talked about going to a golf course and golfing and letting his wife, you know, not letting her, but, you know, her going to the spa and then them going to dinner. They didn't live there, but they were like enacting as though they lived there. So before long, their brain was believing they believed to be there. And so far as the valet was recognizing him, welcome back, Mr. Milet. You know, it's like, dang, like talk about making it happen. And then he did. But because he was putting himself in that environment every day, he was more motivated to work. He was more motivated to go after what he wanted, because it was just little tastes. He wasn't living the real deal yet. It was little tastes. And so he exposed himself to the little tastes and then was willing to do the work to be able to receive that. And then I've seen some people who carry around a dream book, and that's something they can add in every day. They can journal in it. They can put pictures in there. You know, if you go somewhere and they're having, you know, a huge, maybe you go to a furniture store and they have your dream furniture in there, stick it in your dream book, you know, something you can see all the time to really just remind yourself of what you're working for. So anyways, that is that. So I encourage you guys to pick a symbol. So when you close your eyes, you can see it, and it will get you out of that rut ASAP, okay? Okay, so next I'm going to go into a little bit of emotional management with Mary Kay. And you guys, this honestly could probably work for a lot of things in life, as far as the stages of life. You know, like when we start a diet, we're excited, we're committed, we're all in. And then number 2, we're frustrated, right? Then stage 3 is shock. And you're like, oh my gosh, I'm starving. I never in a million years thought I could be this hungry, you know, like I'm going to die. Number 4, you're like, I can't do this. Never mind. I did not sign up for this diet. Number 5, and then you're thinking like, well, gosh, everyone, this is the fear stage. You're like, what's everyone going to think of me? Because I've already proclaimed to the whole social media world that I'm doing Whole30. And then when I go to work tomorrow and they see I'm eating pizza, what are they going to think of me? And number 6, you're angry. You're like, dang it. I always tell myself I'm going to do a diet and I never stick to it. And you know, like, what is wrong with me? Why can't I stick to something? And then number 7, you settle and you say, I never wanted to be a size 6 anyways. I really wanted to be an extra large and in charge woman. You know, I really love these curves. And I love, you know, being diabetic. It's actually got a lot of really great perks. I get to see that attractive doctor, you know, twice a month. You let it just run. And then number 8, you're like, I can do this. I will lose weight. I will not choose to be overweight and diabetic the rest of my life. Did you guys see where I went with that? That was literally a diet in the same emotional cycle as Mary Kay. So we use this as our Mary Kay emotional cycle, but it is no different with anything else. It's probably the exact same with a relationship. It's the exact same with a new job. It's the exact same with a diet. This is the emotional management for life. Okay, stage 1, Mary Kay. Excitement. You're excited. You're a brand new consultant. You got your starter kit. You're like, I'm going to be the youngest national sales director on the planet, right? Like you have these huge pie in the sky dreams. You're super excited. Okay. Some of you might be there right now. Some of you remember being there. That's number 1. Okay. Number 2, frustration. This is where you get your 12 cancellations, your 19 $0 parties in a row, your postponements, your obstacles. No one's booking with you. Why won't my friends or family book with me? I remember being there. Didn't hold me back because no one ever did. Stage 3 is shock. This one cracks me up. They said it would be easy. I don't ever tell anyone it would be easy, but I think sometimes that's what we hear when we want. But reality is nothing easy is really ever desired, right? Like when you eat those 12 Krispy Kreme donuts, that was super easy to go through the drive-thru and order those donuts. But Is that something, you know, we put that weight on? That was super easy to put that weight on, right? And eat those donuts. But reality is that's not really what you wanted to do with those 12 donuts. You do not want to put all that weight on. That was easy. It's not easy to lose the weight. And so nothing truly desired should ever be easy. That's just not, right? What do they say? Like statistics is that, and I'm talking a lot about the lottery because it cracks me up how many people, today I saw something, you know how like when there's a hurricane or a tornado, and it says, you know, Morgan has marked herself safe from Dallas's tornado. It said like Johnny has marked himself not the lotto winner, you know, and I'm like dying crack because it's like in South Carolina. So it's like a don't ask me, I didn't win, you know, because these people live in South Carolina. And I'm like cracking up. But, you know, statistically, they say that people who win the lottery are typically broker than they were within 5 years of winning the lottery because they didn't earn it. And it was easy. And so anything that's easy really is not something worth going for. So stage 4 is denial. Stage 4, this is, it's funny, as a sales director, as a leader, as a national, you can see your people heading right here because they stop communicating. They withdraw. Maybe you've withdrawn a little bit. You will avoid your weekly meetings. You cook every recipe in your, you know, Pinterest dream book. You start making your husband breakfast every day when you never did, you know, to begin with. You quit your Bible study. Or maybe you join 12 Bible studies. Or, you know, like you really start to go into a negative headspin. You start crafting on the weekends when that used to be when you did your appointments. Your attitude seriously goes south. And then a lot of times what I find is that misery loves company. So then they contact one of their girlfriends and who's also miserable. And then they like pour, you know, extra milk on each other's cereal of misery. And then no one goes anywhere. And it's really, really sad. And so that's stage 4. That's in denial. Stage 5, I can't do this. Maybe this isn't for me. You really, really go into like ready to throw in the towel. How do I quit this thing? They didn't tell me it would be like this. You start to blame everyone else, your sales director, your national, your husband, your unborn child, the dog. I mean, everyone is to blame as to why you're not successful. Your mom, because she wouldn't hold a party for you, your recruiter, you name it, it's their fault. It has nothing to do with your poor habit choices, your poor time management, your poor diet, therefore your poor energy. It has nothing to do with that. It has everything to do with everyone else. Okay, so that's stage 5, fear. Stage 6, you get angry at yourself. You admit and you recognize that your feelings are not positive. You realize you're responsible for your own successes or your failures. So you guys, this is the entire circle. Some people stop at fear. Some people stop at 4. Some people do make it to 6, 7, and 8, but some people throw in the towel. And so I want you guys to be aware of these so that when you catch yourself here, you say, hey, this is 7. I need to make it to 8, and you move on. Okay. So again, 6 is angry. You get angry with yourself. You realize that you're not in a good headspace, and you realize that you're responsible for your own success. You take personal responsibility. So that's stage 6. Okay, you guys, so just be aware, you know, and again, that comes with anything. You know, when you get an argument with your husband, you know, life was fun and exciting in the beginning. You get frustrated. You get shocked. I thought he was perfect. You know, number 4, you're in denial. I don't even want to see you anymore. I'm sleeping on the couch. You know, 5, I can't even do this anymore. This is not who I married. Number 6, and then you're like, I probably shouldn't have shrunk his shirt. You know, like it will work full circle every single time. Number 7. Stage 7, I never wanted to own my own business anyways. I actually love working in corporate America. It's pretty fulfilling. The hours aren't even that bad. I mean, eventually one day I might have enough money for a down payment on our home, or you know what, I really, really love the apartment amenities because I never have to mow lawn. And so I never wanted to own a home anyways. And so you decide to quit and you walk away from your dreams forever. Now, I will say living in an apartment does have its perks with those amenities, but when you lie to yourself and you're telling yourself, I never wanted that stuff anyways, I love simple life, I love, you know, top ramen and grilled cheese sandwiches for life. You know, like reality is, that's not true. And so you find yourself settling, you know, and then maybe again, if you're dating, you find yourself settling for someone you shouldn't be with. You know, you guys, again, you can use this in every area. Stage 8 is where you recommit. That's where you show back up at your weekly meeting. And you tell yourself, it is so unlike me to give up on my goals. I am not giving up. I'm not giving up. You get discouraged, but you keep going. You decide to get excited again. You send a positive message to your brain. Maybe you go back on In Touch, watch a fun video or a CD or something like that, and get more realistic with your expectations. Get back to your success meeting, and you open your mind to the possibility again. Connect with your sales director. You guys, sometimes you really do have to cut the cord with some negative relationships, and you have to be careful because for the longest time I was unaware. Now I'm fine. But there was a season in my life where if you were in a bad mood or you were negative or you were really grouchy, that would affect my mood. And now I really don't surround myself with anyone who's negative because I just can't even tolerate them. But I will tell you, you have to be careful because some people really do get affected by the energy around them and, who's in their space. So there you go. There's the Mary Kay emotional cycle. I hope you guys took some notes. And so you can kind of catch yourself there because as a national sales director, I can say I've hit some of those spots. As a sales director, they hit those spots. You have to be cognizant. Nicole, will you give me some water, please? Of where you're at on the scale. And some of you may be half-hearted and wholehearted in, And so are you thinking some of those thoughts, but still trying to convince yourself that you love your Mary Kay? And so you have to catch yourself. Like, am I all in or am I half out? If you're not all in, you are half out. And so being aware of kind of where you're at on the emotional cycle and allowing yourself to be more immersed in the positivity. And I think that's what's really important is from, the powerful visualization or the symbols and things like that, you'll find that it's easier to stay in the good emotional state when you're doing all of those things. Okay. We might get done a little early tonight. Okay.
It's okay for you to skip some of the steps too.
Yeah, you don't have to go through all 8. Gladly skip. Stick with 1.
Yeah.
Just stick at number 1. You don't have to go through any of the other ones. Yeah, 1 and 8. Excited, recommit. I mean, I don't know where you fell out of excitement, but if you have to recommit, but yeah, you do not have to go through all 8. Yeah, I love that. And you guys, what's crazy is I've seen the entire emotional cycle in like 2 minutes. I've seen the entire emotional cycle in a year. I've seen the entire emotional cycle in, a week. So, it's kind of crazy when you see it in a few minutes. It's interesting. And you're like, wow, I didn't even have to talk. We just made it through the whole thing. And so I think that's a pretty healthy person when they can walk themselves 1 through 8 and you're just like, glad I could help to listen. Right. And so I love that. So, okay. So I'm going to talk a little bit about money management. This is something that I think everyone has a different thought on this, but I will tell you guys, and this is what I say to every single one of my welcome appointments. In Mary Kay, we are anti-debt. We want everyone to be debt-free, but I will tell you, you don't have any way to make money. There's no way to pay off debt. And some people really stress and freak out when it comes to inventory. I have never been worried about any debt associated with inventory. And the reason being is if I didn't have inventory, how was I going to pay off any debt at all? And so, if I went to Nordstrom and I bought a really cute dress, and I went on a hot date, is that dress going to make me any money? Absolutely not. Might look good, feel good, all the things. But reality is if I were to put that on a credit card, it is a debt, okay? If I'm putting product on a credit card, that I am paying for 50% of, and then selling at 100%, that is the opportunity to get out of debt, okay? And so I started my Mary Kay business with inventory. I was in a little bit of debt with Mary Kay, but I never stressed because you guys, without those products, I would not have been able to get myself out of other debt. So I paid off student loans, different things like that. And so I always just encourage people, you're a business owner. And, I recently heard that when people say, you got to spend money to make money, that's actually really small thinking. That's really small thinking. When people say you got to spend money to make money, that's small thinking. It's not what's required to be successful. It's small thinking. You're always going to be investing, whether it's in yourself, your finance, whatever. And so to think that, I got to spend money to make money, that's so small thinking. It's so much bigger than that. And so having any type of debt associated with inventory is normal. But the problem is some people do not pay their debt back fast enough or the right way. And so then they freak out and they get caught up in that. Okay. So you were meant to be debt free. Okay. And so here's a couple different numbers I'm going to give you guys. And it's a really great worksheet from Linda Tupin, and I'll post it on our Facebook group. But she goes over some different numbers. But I want to share with you guys kind of like what I did, you know, as a new consultant, because I was never the best with money management. That was something that my, you know, was just not taught to me till I got into Mary Kay, and I'm very regimented about it. But after every single appointment, I would literally go home after every party, and I would add whatever I sold in my cart. I would put it in the cart. I would go off of my sales slips and I would add it to my cart. If I didn't plan on placing that order that night, I would save it. You know, if I had a couple more parties the next few days, I didn't want to pay shipping 3 or 4 times, then I would literally just add it to my cart, save it, come back. I would process my cards, and I always made sure that that money, I always used ProPay. So I always basically made sure I knew what I processed because it was sitting in my ProPay account. I looked at my cart after that appointment, and I would write down how much money needed to stay in that ProPay account because of what was in my cart at that very moment. Transfer the balance to my business checking account, and I would choose, do I allow myself to take a 20% profit, or am I going to take 50% and put it all towards my credit card? You know, whatever. But I had to be very regimented about it because there were seasons where I wasn't, and then I ran out of products. And I got super discouraged because everybody wanted product. They didn't want to go home without it. And then I didn't have it, but I still had the debt sitting over. And so you have to be very careful about that. So sell $200 a week will give you $800 a month. Okay? So if we sell $200 a week, gives you $800 a month. Okay. So obviously right off the bat, $400 is needed to restock your store, because when you go to Kendra Scott and you purchase jewelry, your girlfriend says, oh my gosh, I love that necklace. Where'd you get it? Kendra Scott. Let's go. You both get in the car. You go to buy the earrings and they say, oh, we don't have those. We sold our only pair yesterday. You're like, oh, okay. Are you going to get more? No, we're one and done. Right? No, that doesn't make any sense. So you use $400 to replace your product sold, so that your next customer and your current customer know that they have the product again from you when they come back. Okay? You take $100 to repay that loan. So $100 to pay back your initial loan, which again, you only paid half of that. So that's 25% of your sales were put towards paying back your loan. You give $100 to yourself. I've always been a big advocate for having fun. I enjoy working, but I enjoy having fun more. And so I never want to work and not have fun, right? And so go get your nails done, do something fun, go on a hot date, buy a cute outfit, you give yourself $100 to have fun. And then $200 to pay off your other debt. Doesn't that sound like so simple? $200 a week, $800 a month, $400 because you got to restock your shelves. Otherwise, you are going to be in trouble. $100 to yourself, have fun, and $200 to pay off other debt. You are not only getting rid of old debt, you're getting rid of your Mary Kay debt. How did this happen? Because you have products. Would that have happened with a really cute dress? No. Okay? Unless you live in Vegas. Okay? So here's another example. Sell $300 per week. Okay? Maybe you're a stellar seller. You want to be a stellar seller. And you are a stellar seller. $1,200 income for the month. You take $200 and pay back your Mary Kay loan. $600 again, right off the bat, you take 50% to replace your product sold or you're out of business. $200 to have fun, and $300 to pay off debt. Again, we are accruing, we're staying with our inventory normal and paying off that debt, both your Mary Kay debt and your non-Mary Kay debt. Where else would you be able to do that? Not your job. Your job is not going to give you overtime. And if it's anything like my job, I got overtime, but I actually made less money because I worked so much overtime that it put me in a different tax bracket. And so my paycheck was actually less than had I not worked overtime, right? Chew on that one. That really stunk. Okay. So sell $400 a week equals $1,600 in your Mary Kay income. You guys, that's averaging about 1 to maybe 2 parties. 1 to 2 parties. That $200 per week is 1 party, okay? That $300 per week is still 1 party. $400 a week. 1, maybe 2 parties, okay? $400 a week at $1,600 income in a month. Or again, right off the bat, $800 you reorder, because if you don't, you're out of business. Take $100 to pay back your loan, $300 for fun, $400 to pay off your other debt. You'll notice the reason the Mary Kay loan payoff is still only $100 on this one is because normally when you do a new loan, it's very low interest, 0% interest, or really, really low when you start a new credit card or business loan or something like that. And so the $400 to pay off other debt is actually to help pay off something with a higher interest level. So it's very smart. And then that $300 for fun money, I would probably not spend the fun money. I'm anti-debt because I am safety and security. And so I would probably put majority of that towards paying off debt because that brings me so much joy. And so again, you can kind of do with it whatever you want to, but you know, there you go. There's the numbers. And then the last example I'll give you guys is if you sold $1,000 a week, you guys, again, that's 2 to 3 parties a week. When they're target market, you're coaching them and you're working them right. $1,000 per week, $4,000 a month. You take $100 to pay back that loan. Again, it's low interest. That is not where your focus is right now. Use $1,000 to replace your product. You know, cut it in half. $300 to $1,000 to have fun. That's a lot of fun money. I'd probably pay back some debt. $300 to $1,000 for fun. And maybe fun money for this person, you guys, is paying their bills. Maybe this is a work from home mom who, like, that's her contribution to the family. It might not be just going to the mall and like splurging. It might be your bill money, right? Which I would not call that fun, but it's adulting and you got to do it. And then $1,000 to $1,700 towards other debts, depending on how much of your money is your fun money, right? And again, that's to go towards more higher accruing. And you guys, I will tell you, these numbers are so crazy true. I think it does make a difference kind of what market you're seeing, or if you're not doing anything around the kitchen table. I do believe those are some of the best parties. Your numbers might be a little skewed. And so she has here written down, I think this is really cool, but it's a rapid debt reduction plan. And writing down all your debt, numbering them 1 through 10, from the smallest to the largest, and start paying off the smallest first. And then you work on the larger ones. Again, the ones with the higher interest is really where you want to put your focus. And you can pay off debt so quickly. Dave Ramsey even said that, you know, starting a business on the side is one of the best things you can do to help pay off debt, because reality is most of the time your job is a set income. My husband yesterday forwarded me an email from his work and he said, "Hey babe, you know, this is our new pay structure." And I was like, oh, okay, that's interesting. He goes, yeah, I get an extra $200 per, you know, paycheck every month. And I'm like, oh, that's cool. And he's like, yeah, they're structuring how we get paid. It's every first and 15th instead of every 2 weeks or something like that. And, you know, it's just, I thought about it and I was like, reality is it's not changing his pay at all. You know, it's not like you're getting a raise, honey. Like they're legit, you know, just changing your structure a little bit. And we are so blessed in this opportunity that if something pops up, you can make the money to do that and say, no, I want to make more. No, I want to take my family on a vacation. No, how many women have that opportunity? No one. My sister had her baby today, and she is the cutest thing on the entire planet. She told me she had to have a C-section, and she said, perk is that my Medicare will pay for 2 more weeks of maternity leave. And I was just like, well, that's awesome. And then I'm thinking to myself, that's awful. You know, if that's what you have to look forward to of going back to work, is like, I get an extra couple weeks because I had a C-section and they cut me open. You know, like, how blessed are we that you have an opportunity that you don't have to worry about that. If you wanted to stay home with your babies, you totally can. Everyone has that opportunity, yes. But I don't think it's till you're in this business till you really know how great your opportunity is, until you really know how rich this is. We could shout from the rooftops how amazing this is, but until you get in, I don't think you really see that. And so that's huge.
And that's just sales.
And that's just sales. That's not your director commission check. You guys, Mary Kay Ash always said she wanted any business expenses to be paid from sales. So that means your director paycheck should be paying your bills, your family bills. Okay, that's huge. How much that would be as a contribution. And if that $1,000 is your fund money and that pays all of your required bills for the month, imagine your director paycheck, what that could do for your family. Like $3,000, $4,000, $5,000, $6,000 a month just going into the savings accounts. That would be huge, you know? And I know so many have different, you know, goals, maybe nonprofit, different things that you would love to be able to contribute, fostering, different things like that. How cool would that be to be able to do that? And you can with this business and your activity. Okay. Let's see. I found this really cool article that I wanted to share with you guys, but to be honest, I don't know. Let me see. Did anybody here bring their mindset test or their mindset results?
I haven't screenshotted.
Okay. Let's see. Did I print? Oh, I got it. I got it. Thank you. Okay. So I'll talk a little bit about this Maslow test. So it's very interesting because there's so many different self-aware tests and different things that we can take about ourselves and see where we're at and different things like that. Did anybody here have like an interesting thought or epiphany or anything as you guys were looking at that? Or you're like super confused and don't even know what it means?
I was really shocked when mom came back and said I was at self-actualization. I didn't think I was going to get that bad. Okay.
And I think there's probably a little bit more in-depth tests that we could take to get into a little bit deeper with that. But what's interesting is I was researching this is it really says that at the end of the day, we all start at the bottom. And so if you are finding yourself where you are in a physiological need that you are struggling with, it's going to be really hard to focus on any other area of your life. So if you are not finding that your simple needs of like food and health and safety and a roof over your head and all the things that you really need for basic needs, if you guys are struggling with that, it's going to be very, very hard to find yourself running out of joy in this business, right? So if you are, in a place where you're struggling with those, you've got to get to a place where you can find those physiological needs. Again, working if that's something that you know that's what you need, being able to work through that. And then the next is just safety and security and being able to find that is something that, you have to be able to feel safe in your environment and feel the security that you need. And again, you can't meet any of these other ones on the top until you have met your bottom. So it's interesting. And then intimate relationships and friends, if you think about it, if you're struggling with any of those things on the bottom, those are going to be so minute in the grand scheme of things. And so kind of just checking where you're at. Generally, if you find yourself stressing about the bottom things, it's going to be hard to get excited about the things on the top of the pyramid. Your self-esteem, these are more physiological needs, self-esteem, feeling of accomplishment. It's going to be hard to feel a sense of accomplishment if you're struggling with some of these things on the bottom. So just kind of being aware of that. And then achieving one's full potential. I don't think anyone's actually at self-actualization. I don't think anyone is at the top where they're like, I have succeeded and I've done all the things. But at least just being more aware and enjoying life's full balance. Because if you are focused on that bottom, you're not going to be able to enjoy the relationships, the safety and security that comes from, working this business, really a sense or a feeling of accomplishment, those things. So just being aware of whether your basic needs are met or if they're feeling threatened, it's going to be really hard to work and feel joy-filled in that. And so again, I think a lot of the activities we talked about at the beginning of tonight will help with that too, just kind of with your head stuff, but also being able to work through some of that stuff. So anyways, so that's that. You can research that a little bit more. There's some really good YouTube videos and different things that go into a little bit more context about that. But that is some stuff about that. I always love that test. I think it's a little interesting. And then the last thing I want to talk to you guys a little bit tonight before we announce our winners is your words and using your words wisely in your business. We find that it's become socially acceptable, like I said earlier, a little bit to complain about or interpret events to people, ourselves, and communicate by, again, moaning, complaining, different things like that. And again, just being really aware of your words. And when you do put it out there to the world, that's exactly what you're getting. And when you say it loud enough for other people to hear, they're going to believe it to be true too. So just being cognizant of your words to your unit members, your husband, your sales director. Negative, powerless words such as I can't, I shouldn't, I need, I won't, should all be avoided. And so don't say I can't. Don't say I need. Don't say I wish. I want, I shouldn't, I can't. Powerful words instead of negative words. They strip you of the ability to actually make those things happen. So when you're using those words, it strips the ability to change the outcome. It strips the ability to say, I can, I will, I must. Instead, you're saying I can't, I won't, things like that. So, for example, if you would say something as such as like, I'm unhealthy, I'm overweight, and instead you would say, I'm getting closer and closer to my ideal body weight. I'm getting closer and closer to that goal image for myself. I'm getting closer, and I don't even like that word. I'm getting closer and closer to my goal body or my healthy body, adding positive things, because if we're adding anything negative, you wouldn't want to say I'm getting closer and closer to Kim Kardashian, because reality is like, that's not a healthy image of yourself. And so having something that's really connected to a more positive outcome. Your words, again, are the paint that you are painting of your future reality. And you guys, this is something that I've even caught myself saying to even my mom, my husband. He said something the other day about work. And I said, babe, don't say that if you don't want that to happen. Today's going to be a rough day. It's Friday. It's the end of the month, whatever. And I said, don't say that unless you want that to happen. It can be a great day, and so just being more aware of what you're saying, and then pass it on to whoever you're with and give them that tool of just saying, girl, is that what you want to happen? Then don't say that, and helping other people with that. Because you guys, it's an interesting world, right? Like it surrounds us. The negativity surrounds us. My gosh. Listening to a podcast this morning, the guy said, I haven't watched the news in 20 years. And I'm thinking to myself, a lot of people could benefit from that. Like my mom has gotten so much better. And the only reason we watch the news is because my husband's obsessed with it, but I'm not. And I remember my mom would watch the news and she was like, did you see, the blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, no, like I legit, when most things, I remember when the Columbine shooting happened, I don't think I knew for 3 days because I never watched the news. And I think I saw it at the grocery store or something like that. Like I never watched the news. And so, but allowing yourself to only, to be cognizant of trying to be more positive with the things that you're watching and listening to. And he said, I haven't watched the news in 20 years. This guy's a pretty positive dude. It probably has served him well, and so being careful what you're watching and listening to, all that stuff. And then, let's see, again, affirming. So I am what I am, and just, being careful what you say after the I am. And if you're not using I am, try using I am. I am powerful. I am a Cadillac sales director. I am beautiful inside and out. I am amazing at connecting. I'm amazing at building relationships. Instead of the I can't, I won't, I wish, and just maybe even picking 10 of your favorite I am sentences and printing them, writing them out, you guys, and making 1 million copies and putting them all over your house. And this is going to rub off on your spouse. It's going to rub off on your kids. You guys, I know that this Pacesetters has been a lot of head stuff, but it's because that's the one thing holding you back from getting you closer. So many people. Obviously, the activity plays a key role, but the main reason you're probably not doing the activity is because your head. These 2 small words are so powerful. So be careful about how you end your I am sentence. Okay, when you say I'm fat, lazy, or shy, that's definitely different than I'm beautiful, confident, successful, and happy. And you guys, I talked about this with the last event that I did for another national, and it's you have to be very careful, especially what you're saying in front of your kids, because then they will start to think that about themselves. When you say I'm feeling fat today, like, did you just say that in front of your little girl? Did you say that in front of your daughter? Did you say that in front of your husband? Now you're giving your husband permission to say, well, you said it. Their brains don't work like ours. And they think that's okay. And it's not. But when you say those things, and then, it's allowing someone else to think the same thing. Remind yourself you are what you wish to be, and if you are wishing or thinking or saying negative things, you guys, That's what you're going to get. That's what you're going to get. You guys, this is so crazy, and I've never had this epiphany till now, but I remember saying I will never marry my dad. I will never marry my dad. You guys, I married my dad because I would put so much focus on not marrying my dad, who was not a good man. That was my first husband. You know, but I put so much attention on, I will never marry, you know, a loser like my dad, or I would never marry someone who would not commit to forever, you know, and I remember telling myself all these things, but I put so much focus on the negative instead of what I would find in a spouse that I married that. There's so much power in that. So just because it sounds like it's a positive doesn't mean it's a positive, okay? So be careful with your I am. And then number 3, and the last one, you guys, is speak from your heart. When we complain a lot in life, A, that means lack of gratitude. And B, it means that we're being anxious and we're using hateful words. And that absolutely makes an effect on your heart. And a lot of that comes from a place of fear, frustration, negativity, lack of confidence. So the first step, you guys, would just be aware over those words. Be aware of those words. I have a girlfriend who wears a rubber band and she snaps it every time she thinks or says something that's negative. Sounds very painful, but it'll catch you, right? Be careful of those. Maybe even write them down. Again, ask yourself, again, self-actualization. Is this true? Does this stand in the court of law? You know, as silly as that sounds, when you think about it like that, you're like, no, well then why am I doing this to myself? You know, like it really does have so much truth. And then ask yourself, why would I say this? Does this have truth? Is this something that is, you know, would stand in the court of law? You know, ask yourself those questions. How is this going to serve me? Is this getting me closer to my goals? Reality is it's probably no. And that will absolutely help you become aware of those thoughts. You know, a lot of times, like I said, for a lot of people is you're not good enough or you're not enough, you know, different things like that. But you have to realize that those fears and those voices are something that you have to work past. And so maybe you need to write why you are enough or why you deserve it. Don't stop at, yes, I'm enough. Go as far as to say, I am enough because God created me to be this woman, and the woman that I meet in heaven, I want to be that woman. Like, yes, I am enough because God told me I am, you know? And so reminding yourself, like, when I get to heaven, am I going to be thrilled with the person that he introduces me to? Or I'm going to be like, dang, that's not who I know, right? And so being cognizant of that. And so when you're thinking of, am I enough or do I have what it takes, is like that the clear example is that God has your dream image, you know, in heaven waiting on you when that time comes. And so are you willing to work for that, you know, and to push for that? So you are absolutely enough. So you guys, that is all of our training. I know there was a couple things that I need to post. My closing, I will do that. Some of those activities next week. My fall retreat is this weekend, so I'm not promising to do anything this week in regards to Pacesetters because I leave in 2 days for my fall retreat. So with that being said, I will post my skincare closing. I think I needed to post my group close and my individual close. And so I will post those next week in our group. And I will tell you guys, I'm super excited for those of you who played full out, but I will tell you, it was very interesting to me. It was the first Pacesetters that I did that didn't have a book, so therefore it didn't cost, because the cost normally is associated with the book and some really amazing prizes. But I chose to change it up a little bit this year to see, or this one to see how the results would be. But I will tell you guys, the results were disappointingly low because if there's no skin in the game, I find that people don't play full out. And if there's no skin in the game, if something is $10 or $20, people, it's easy to write it off to say, you know, like, hey, I didn't pay for it anyways. Why do I got to show up? You know, and so I will tell you that's, I don't know, it'll be interesting this next time to see. But it was a very good lesson learned because I do believe that, again, when it comes easy to you and it's something that you didn't have to work towards or you didn't have to make a true commitment, when your director said registration's open and it's free, it was nothing for you guys to think to register, right? It was like, oh, it's free, I'm in. And then when you realize what it took, you were like, at least it was free, right? And so we will not make that mistake again because it was kind of disappointing to see some amazing women give up so quickly. And obviously you guys are not in this group because you're watching, but I will tell you, and the prizes are way better when we do that, but I wanted to see how this worked out this time. And so I'm excited. I'm going to announce our weekly winners really quickly, and I actually have some special training from some of my sister NSDs. So please don't vox me or ask me about this. I promise next week I will post any of the names that I list. I will somehow get just you guys the link to watch this video from one of my sister NSDs. So you guys have, for being a week winner, will earn this special exclusive training. So congratulations. So we'll create a Voxer group or something, and I'll share the link with you guys. All the Voxer groups, right? We were just talking about how there's so many. Okay, so our weekly winners. And once I'm done announcing our winners, I will do a couple housekeeping things, and then we'll announce our overall winners. Okay, so these are for each week. So congratulations to each of you guys. Some points I wrote down, some points I didn't write down. I don't know why I did that, but there's a lot of common names. There's a lot of reoccurring names. And I want you guys to know that if you didn't, your name's not here, at least you're here tonight. Hopefully your business was changed a little bit. Hopefully it was a little bit more transformed. Hopefully you guys got a lot out of it. The voucher really is, you guys, the biggest thing is playing full out with the voucher. Reality is the material and the content doesn't really change much. We will always book, coach, sell, recruit. It's whether you choose to get up every single day and put in the time, put in the effort. You know, did you go do an hour of lead generating that now is going to propel you into an amazing November? You know, did you go get those 10 facial boxes out? Did you, get out of your comfort zone and do all those facials and those appointments and those booking attempts? You know, did you do those things? If anything, I'm praying you guys walked away with learning how to have better habits, like being aware of the habits. Everyone has the same 24 hours in a day. The difference with successful and unsuccessful people are their habits, and so for the love of God, do you have booking time scheduled? If that's what you get, that's all I care about, and are you holding true to that? Okay, so don't beat yourself up. Always a winner. You're still here. Super proud of you guys. And for some of you, maybe this was your first go around. And so, next time you're playing with some big dogs, and in February, you're going to amp up your game. Okay, perfect. So directors, week 1 for units over 50. I'm not going to say the points. They're all really high. I'll say one of them, and then you guys know where you're at. Number 1 was Lacey Bradford with over 753,000 points. So congratulations, Lacey. So stoked for you. Number 2 was Lori Plyler. Awesome. And number 3 was Abigail Voorhees. So all of these women had over 600,000 points for week 1. So way to go, you guys. And so I know some of you didn't jump on for week number 1. And so you guys got an opportunity to make up for that in week 2, 3, and 4. So number 2, our winners were number 1, Aubrey Stanley, whoop, whoop. Number 2, Lori Plyler, another reoccurring name. Number 3, Lacey Bradford, another occurring name. So we'll tell you guys that all 3 of those women are Cadillac sales directors. How did that happen, Brittany? It's because they know how to hustle and they know what it takes to make things happen. And so if you're upset that you're not here, probably because you're not doing the work to make that happen. Okay, so there we go. Number 3. Number 1, Aubrey Stanley with over 1 million points. The girl is kicking butt. Lori Plyler with over 1 million points. And Regina King, I don't know why I didn't write down your points, but I'm sure you were right there. I think you were at like 800,000 or 900,000 points for week 3. So congratulations to you guys. Way to go with that consistency. I love it. Number 4, week 4, number 1 is Aubrey Stanley with well over 1.2 million points. Lori Plyler, 765,000 points. You guys seeing a common thread here? Melissa Almonza is 600,000 points. Way to go, Melissa. I'm so excited for you guys. So, and she's also in her pink Cadillac. And you guys, if you notice on the voucher, you really directors, well, I guess consultants didn't see the director points voucher system, but directors really got most of their points from personal activity. There was very few things that you got credit for your unit. So we can't say, oh, it's because they have a large unit, because I did that intentionally. Because I don't want, just because you have been in Mary Kay for 85 years and you have 1 million people in your unit, you're going to win. Nope, that's not how this works. Brittany is personal activity focused. Okay. So under 50, week 1, was number 1, Amanda Standback. So congratulations, Amanda. You guys are going to hear that name a lot. Number 2 is Meredith Pintler. Number 3, I don't know how Regina King got in both. Maybe her unit size jumped and decreased real quick. It's possible because we spanned this out over 4 weeks. And then week 2 was Regina King, number 1. Number 2, Amanda Standback. And number 3, Tia Sherman. Whoop, whoop. So that was week 2, you guys. Again, I know every single one of these women are consistently working their business. Week number 3, Amanda Standback. Number 2, Meredith Pintler. And number 3, Sharon Bass. Congratulations. All of those women had 600 into 1,000,000 points for that week, you guys. That's a lot of activity. Week number 4, Regina King, Amanda Standback, and Jessie Jordan. And every single one of those women had 700,000 points. Congratulations, Jessie, for showing up there. And so way to go, you guys. I'm super proud of you. And what I know is every single one of these women are crazy committed. You know, that's the difference between Pacesetters. It can do nothing for you or it can do so much for you. And every single one of these women checked in with me consistently or, you know, were submitting their points, showing up, working with their people. And so you guys, this works only as well as you make it work. This works only as much as you put your attention and your time and your energy into it. So I'm praying that next time you guys will show up a little bit more and allow yourself to stretch yourself. So, okay, time for consultants. Week number 1, we had our first place from the Lacey Bradford unit was Bailey Ellis. Congratulations, Bailey. Number 2 was Debbie Myers from the Angela Concannon unit. Congratulations. And then we had Jill, and she didn't put her last name, and I don't have it memorized. Number 3 from Auburn East Stanley unit. So congratulations. That is week 1. All of those women had over 600,000 points for week 1. So for our consultants in the room, you guys can kind of base so you know exactly where those points looked like. Week number 2, we had from the Elise Anders unit, Brittany Wheeler with over 700,000 points. Way to go, girl. Elena Elrod from Kathy Garvin's unit with 655,000. And number 3, Terry Jankowski from Lori Plyler's unit. You guys, speed of the leader is the speed of the gang. Did you hear Lacey Bradford's unit as a director a lot? And now you're hearing her people. Speed of the leader is speed of the gang. Okay, Elena Elrod is a brand new consultant, you guys, and you're going to see her name a ton here too. Week 3, number 1, Elena Elrod with 936,000 points. She's a brand new consultant, not knowing anything, and she dived in head first. Okay, Alexandra Merschbach from Lacey Bradford unit, number 2. Number 3, Chris Pugh from the Lacey Bradford unit, number 3. Common thread here, you guys, as she is working. Her people are working, and that is a well-oiled machine. Okay, so number 4, congratulations, ladies. Number 4, number 1, Elena Elrod from Kathy Garvin's unit. Again, brand new consultant who just ran. Number 2, Bailey Ellis from Lacey Bradford's unit. Number 3, Ashley Walker from Lacey Bradford's unit, you guys. Okay, activity will give you the points. And all 3 of those women had over 800,000 points. Okay, so super proud of you guys. Way to go. So you guys are all going to get a fabulous training from my girlfriend, Ari Hathaway. So I'm super excited to share that with you guys. And I will share that next week. Please don't ask me for it. I promise I will create a Voxer group. And if for some reason I forget, then Lacey Bradford will reach out to me and make sure that I get it done. But it won't be till after my fall retreat. Okay. So are you guys ready for the winner chicken dinner? Okay. I will tell you guys, for those of you who've done my Pacesetters before, this prizes. There was no funds for prizes, right? All of this came out of my pocket. And so they're gorgeous earrings, but it's not the Tory Burch and like Kendra Scott that we normally do. So I've decided we need to bring that back because free is not working for you guys. Because it's very obvious with the lack of activity that free does not motivate you, okay? So it's good to know. And so for our top 10 consultants and our top 10 directors, I hope you guys like these earrings I've been rocking all night. Our consultants who are in the top 10 are going to get a red pair. Super cute to go with your suit. These leather earrings are like super in. I'm obsessed with them. I literally wear them everywhere. I've worn way too much Kendra Scott, and you guys can tell this is so embarrassing, but my ear hole is getting like stretched and like really not cute. These earrings weigh like nothing. And so for those of you who can't wear heavy earrings, you're going to love these. You can barely even tell that you're wearing them. So for our top 10 consultants, you're getting red. And for our directors, these colors are going to go perfect with your suit. So you're going to get pink to go with your suit. They're gorgeous. And you guys, I'm not kidding you. These are like super. I walk into boutiques all the time because I'm obsessed with boutique shopping. I don't always buy, but I just got a pair of these for $36. So super cute earrings. No, I did not pay $36, but they are very cute, and you're going to love them. And so I'm excited to announce who our top 10 are. Okay, so you guys ready? Drum roll. Let's see. Let me find my email real quick. We have a drum roll going for you guys here, just so you know. Yeah, it's the quietest drum roll you've ever heard. Let's see. Hold, please. Where did I have too many emails, guys. Here we go. Okay, are you guys ready? Oh, I got really close just there. Okay, so our top 10 consultants. You guys, every single person had well over almost 2 million points in accumulation, okay? So, number 10. From the Lacey Bradford unit, Alexandra Merschbrock. Congratulations, Alexandra. We're so excited for you. You're going to be rocking these red earrings with your red jacket until you get the pink earrings and become a sales director, okay? Let's see. Okay. Actually, you guys, I got to start over. I apologize. Number 10 is from the, I don't know unit, but I know her adopted director is Nicole Jones. Miss Melissa Dicht is actually number 10. So congratulations, Melissa. Come grab your fabulous earrings. Yay, yay, yay. She's in the building. Oh, wait, no, I have yours wrapped. This was just an example. There you go, my love. You're so welcome. Congratulations. Okay, so number 9, that was Alexandra. Yay, girl, you're not even number 10. You're number 9. That's awesome. With 1,766,000 points. Okay. Next, we have from the Kayla Holt unit, Miss Sharon Taylor. So congratulations, Sharon. You're getting some beautiful red hoop earrings. Next, we have from the Erica Singletary unit, Miss Erica, Kara Goodwin. So congratulations, Kara. We're so excited for you. Way to go, my friend. And then we have with 1 million, I don't even know these points. I can't even. 953,000 points, you guys. Dang. From the Renee Williams unit, Miss Emily Sheldon. So congratulations, Emily. Okay, you guys, we're getting to the top 5. You guys ready? Number 5, from the Monica Land unit with 2,011,000 points. From the Monica Land unit, did I say that already? Mm-hmm. Samantha Bevis. Congratulations, girl. Way to go. That's so amazing. And that's the first time I've seen that name in this Pacesetters, you guys. So super thrilled for you. Are you guys sick of hearing this name yet? From the Lacey Bradford unit, Miss Katie Duncan is number 4 with 2,149,000, you guys. Awesome, awesome, awesome. From the Lacey Bradford unit with 2,174,000 points, Miss Chris Pugh. Congratulations, Chris. From the Lacey Bradford unit with 2,610,000, Miss Bailey Ellis. You guys are killing it on the activity. Way to go. So excited for you guys. And this possibly makes me the happiest girl on the planet because this is a brand new consultant, you guys, who jumped in. Like, I hope this is like breaks your belief barriers like anything else. Brand new consultant, has never, I think she's having surgery. Her sales director said, and just dealing with a lot of stuff at home, but chose to run full out and really maximize Pacesetters from the Kathy Garvin unit, Elena Elrod, with over 2,632,000 points, you guys. She's got some stuff going on and she chose to run, and this is her first Pacesetters ever, you guys. That is amazing. So congratulations, girl. We are so excited for you, Elena. So, so proud of you. And my friend, I know you are going places. So awesome, awesome, awesome. Okay, so we're going to do our directors really quickly, you guys. Top 10 under 50 is love, 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 and excited about this one. Oh, I'm excited about all of them, but she's mine, so I'll take credit for her. Well, she's from herself. But Christy Harbin is under 50 with, I don't even know, over 2 million points. Way to go, Christy. Number 4 for under 50 is Jessie Jordan, and that is, again, over 2 million points. Meredith Pintler, over 2 million points, is number 3. Number 2, Amanda Stanback, over 3 million points. Way to go, girl. And in case you guys are wondering, that's Lacey Bradford's offspring. Just saying. And then number 1, Miss Regina King. So congratulations, you guys. Way to go. Way to lead with such amazing excellence. So proud of you guys. And I promise the prizes will be better next time because, well, we'll just have the fun sport. But here you go. You guys get the pink earrings. Super excited about them. You're going to love them. I kept a pair for myself, and my suit's not even pink. So I love it. Okay, so top units over 50, the top 5. Love every single one of these women, you guys, and they are all in their pink Cadillac. And again, these points were not obtained by team activity. It was like all personal activity, little bit of team activity, okay? So there you go. The fruit, what do they say? Poofs in the pudding. I was going to say the fruits in the pudding, but it's all about how you prefer your pudding. So, okay? I need some sleep. Okay. Right? Okay. All unit size over 50. Miss Kimberly Perkins. Congratulations, Kimberly, with over 2 million points. Way to go, girl. Next, we have Melissa Almanza with over 2 million points. So excited for her. This is her first time, I think, in the top 5. This name you guys probably could spell. Number 3, Lacey Bradford. Way to go, girl. So excited for you. You so deserve it. Number 2, with over 3 million points, Lori Plyler. That is a very popular name when we do our Pacesetters. She's always in the top 5. She kicks butt and amazing. And number 1, near and dear to my heart, Miss Aubrey Stanley. Well, all of you are near and dear to my heart, but she's mine too. So Aubrey Stanley, number 1, girl, you guys over 4 million points. And I will tell you that right now, she's been dealing with a sick son who's in and out of the doctors and got a million things going on. I think was this the month that she couldn't even get to her house. The flooding was like so bad. So many things going on, you guys. And she doubled number 5's points, like doubled number 5's. Doubled number 5's, okay? She is killing it with personal activity. And so I just hope this goes to show you guys that stuff happens, crap happens, things happen, build a bridge, get over it, and go to work. Like, seriously, that is so cool. And so I think the best thing you guys can do is just utilize the tools that you got during Pacesetters. You don't need a Pacesetters every month. You just need healthy habits. And you need to go to work. I think that's the problem, is some people just don't want to go to work. They want the fun, they want the prizes. And that is why you'll see our numbers went down. We're at week 4. And I think the submission of entries was a quarter of what it was for week 1. So just so crazy to me how many people quit on themselves. And so I pray that you guys will choose to not be quitters. You will choose to hold true to yourselves and the commitments that you've made to yourself and make things happen. And the last thing I'll say is, I'm sure I told you guys this already, but it's just remembering, if you really want people to start respecting the decisions that you make and the goals that you set and the things that you want to come into fruition, it starts with you. You have to respect yourself. You have to respect your own personal commitments before anyone else is going to say, like, I believe you, like, you can do it. It's like, are you holding true to the things that you say you're going to do? So many times we find ourselves making sure our kids are taking care of our spouses is, I'm going to make booking calls. Never mind, the kids need brownies for tomorrow. Like, no, buy some brownies, or like they dropped it on you the day before, pick it up on the morning, like I think so many times we feel this guilt of having to put everybody else's needs before us. And that's one thing a lot of women have in common, is they are very loyal and they do for others and they're very others focused. But the problem is, in being others focused, they lose themselves and then they get frustrated and not where they want to be, but they're like cheering all their girlfriends on as they're making it happen, right? And so we really have to do for ourselves and be cognizant of that. So anyways, happy finale, guys. We made it. You survived. I'm super excited for you. Again, some great observations on my end. I guess you guys have to pay for something to actually do it. So excited about our future, excited about our holiday season. If you haven't picked up on the news, Chrome Fusion is out. So make sure you guys get your details on that. It's going to be absolutely, you guys, game changing. Literally the parties that I hold, I get so many compliments on the makeup because it's what I've been using. And so get you some products, get you, you know, your bookings. You guys are going to be selling Glamour like crazy. It's a whole new world with all this stuff. So love you guys tons. Congratulations to our winners. I am not mailing out any prizes till next week, so don't ask. It'll be a pleasant surprise when they arrive in your mailbox, okay? So love you guys and excited for just the months to come. All In with 8 is coming to an end, so max it out. You guys, you've got plenty of time to make it happen. But again, just like we talked about all 4 weeks, if your head believes it won't happen, it won't happen. So and what you think is what you will get. What you obsess is what you will possess. So love you guys. Have an awesome night. Thanks for having fun and playing with us. Bye.